Hey, what's up, everyone? It is Nuke right now. Um, my 100th video, and I just wanted to celebrate. I didn't know I had so many. I looked last week, and I was like 95, and here I am. So a lot of work put in. But yeah, I just wanted to have a little appreciation show. First off, you guys know where to find me. nuclearcaudillo. Pretty much on all platforms. I'll put my link tree in the chat. So you guys can follow me if you guys already haven't. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to thank you guys first and foremost for watching me, taking the time out of your day or whatever you're doing to watch me. And really, time is the most important resource, and you guys really took time to watch me. Hopefully, I provided you guys with the value, at a minimum, entertainment, right? And the value, and you guys can go make your lives better because that's the whole point of this, right? Um, right now, all this manosphere crap is becoming the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? So um you don't want to get too wrapped up in that stuff, right? Oh my god. Fred. Fred with $100. My god, you're killing me, man. I really appreciate it. You get one of these, sir. Here you go.
Thank you so much, best friend.
Damn it, Fred. I appreciate it. You're gonna make me tear up here. Thank you, Fred. Fred has given me $100 in the past on my monetization video too, guys. So appreciate you, Fred. Um, and hopefully I think I wrenched you. So, guys, he is a mod now, so respect his authority. So thanks again, Fred, for your $100 super chat. That will go towards what am I putting it towards? Tadashi already has enough stuff. You know what? That will go towards a better mic for this show. If you guys think I should get a better mic, let me know. I've been wanting to get better equipment for this stuff, or however I can improve the show or any of that stuff. Because at this point, guys, I really should probably start caring more. I do care a lot, but like at this point, I think after 100 videos, I think okay, I'm getting the hang of this. I've met some really good people and all that stuff. So, and I see some recurring faces. We have my good Habibi Chad of Arabia. Thank you, Chad. Always a pleasure. Um, we got good old Godspeed mate. My exam just finished. Nice timing. Good man. What were you doing your exams for? Are you in college? Well, I'm gonna assume you're in college. We got the great and powerful Danny Arnold, also a great follower of the DragonShip. Nice to see you. Um, we got my buddy Weeb Dominicano. What animes are you watching right now? Speaking of, um, so yeah, guys, we can talk about whatever you guys want. I don't care. I just want to celebrate with you guys a quick stream, and I really appreciate. It's kind of surreal, because I never thought I would ever do this. I always wanted to. I was active in the forums back in the day. Um, in the early 2010s, I was very active on the forums. Not active, but like I would read and enter every day into the forums. And guys, it was so much more different than it is now in terms of you know, in terms of what do you call it? Like the point, back then, no one, there was no, there was you were anonymous. There was like no, your avatar was like some celebrity or a car or whatever. So you would go on stuff like the Roosh V forum or bodybuilding.com or So Suave or whatever, and you would just say things and people would come together. And I love Roosh V forum was where I stayed. I was a big fan of Roosh. The only thing with Roosh is that over time, obviously he went crazy overboard with religion stuff. But what I liked about Roosh was that he was like he would police his threads, but he would never like kick people off. He wouldn't he wouldn't do like stuff that they're doing now on social media platforms. So, but he protected it and gave a shit about his forum. So, um, but yeah, it was it was interesting times. I still remember some of my favorite threads. So yeah, oh, we got chat already. It's 4 a.m. here, man. Stayed up for you. Thanks, man. Good man. Good man. By the way, how did your appointment go? I don't know if I'm supposed to discuss that now, but um, here, but hopefully everything, all your work came back. I really need to go to the doctor and get my stuff checked out. I'm getting to that age where I should probably start caring. So oh, we have Kate Ann. Hello, the great and powerful Kate. Hopefully she's behaving on Twitter. Um, Weeb Dominicano, thanks to you, I went to salsa class. Yeah, man. No, thanks to yourself. You're the one that I just told you it was a good idea, but yeah, man, salsa class at a minimum, what it's gonna do is get you out of your head. You when you go learn something new where everyone around you is more experienced, it really humbles you. That's what a lot of guys need. The secret king shit, thinking you're the best from your little laptop on your little account on Twitter. That's not, you're just gonna get miserable, because when you actually are forced to go in the real world and forced to face your own demons and your lack of skill with women, or just people with social skills, it sucks, right? So why not get ahead of the problem and throw yourself out there? No one cares, dude. Like, no one cares. So Godspeed. Psychology exams done for the year. Did you do good? Did you pass them? Chad says I never went on any forums. Yeah, I went on the forums, but it was just like I was being unplugged. I unplugged like 10 years ago, a little more. And I would say that, like, it was just so fascinating to me to see guys of all ages, and we're all talking about stuff and everything made sense. I was like, what the hell? All these guys. Some of them were a little, extreme, but for the most part, everyone was like, oh, yeah, everyone was more rational. That was the red pill, the old red pill guys. Everyone was just rational as hell. You know, everyone was just like on the same page. It was like watching boomers talk about women, but like not in a beta way. Like, just dudes telling you how it was. And I was like 18 years old, 20 years old, 21 years old, looking at this stuff, and my mind was like, I was like, wow, good times. I still remember some of the great threads in there. Um, but yeah, uh, even the dating threads on miscellaneousbodybuilding.com were such good places. Yeah, it was anonymous. And it was just dudes being dudes, man. And that's what happened to the space now. We run, everything's being run through the female filter, the emotionalism filter, and now we have like huge $1 million podcasts with aging women on there complaining about stuff. And my question is, I don't dislike these women because I don't know them. But I'm just like, you ever ask like them, like, hey, what are you doing here? What are you doing on this podcast? Are you promoting something? Obviously a lot of them promote their naked pictures online, but like, what's your purpose here? What are you contributing? Right? Always ask when people have this discourse and want to like blow up, and they want the smoke, so to speak. Always ask yourself, what you know what are they bringing to the table, not in a relationship, but to the discourse, to the topic, right? um have you I don't know if you guys have like voice chats or group chats for the boys, and in WhatsApp, right? But like in that WhatsApp group, there's always that guy that's always bringing good value and information. There's always the clown that brings all the good memes. There's always the guy that's like, hey, I found this spot, it's good, let's go do this, guys. The guy that's the logistics guy is always planning everything and all that. But not, imagine a group chat where like everyone is just arguing, everyone just saying I'm better than them, and they're dumb. It's like, that group chat's gonna get boring. Everyone's gonna check out. Like, I don't want to deal with the drama, because I joined the group chat to go places, hang out with my friends. There was a purpose for it. It was a tool, but we turned the red pill worldwide group chat into who's right, who's wrong, and save the West and all that. And that was never the point of the red pill, right? It was never the point. And 10 years ago, for you guys that weren't unplugged 10 years ago, or didn't know about the stuff 10 years ago, right? um there was no clout didn't exist. Instagram was barely a thing, and nobody barely used it. Facebook was a thing, but Facebook was more like college people used it, like, not even the boomers had touched it yet. Twitter was a thing also, but it was just like, no one really cared about Twitter as much. So it's like these forums, no, all you had was like the little ranking system. So Roosh had like his first rank was like male feminist. It was funny, male feminist. And then it was like chubby chaser, and then the final rank for like posting and contributing was innovative Casanova. That was like the top. You were like the top poster there. You knew women. You always contributed. People liked your post on this forum. So there was a hierarchy of how much you would contribute, how much people liked your ideas. Translate that to now, it's whoever is shows the most cleavage, or whoever shakes the most ass, whoever has the most money to invest in their show. And I was seeing this like, it's interesting because I don't really hate on any podcast, right? Because business is business. I know what business is business, right? But during the time when all the red meat podcasts were just blowing up, 2021 blowing up, all the red meat podcasts, right? Understand that there was a good portion of the country that was angry, angry because of the election, angry because of the virus thou shall not be named, and its after effects. Everyone was mad. And also, like Chad saying in the chat, Chad Arabia saying in the chat, the pandemic was like anti grass touching. Everyone was stuck inside for so long, online, playing video games, fighting with their wives, not getting laid, or whatever they were doing. They were just inside consuming media the whole time, consuming whatever. So people kind of lost their like handle on life and what is really was like. Instead of going out every week for dinner or hanging out with your friends all the time, it would be like once in a while. So people just kind of got, humans, when we don't go out and interact with other humans, we get kind of loopy, right? So couple that with these red meat podcasts that came out beginning of 2021, when we were barely, at least in Texas, barely leaving the year that shall not be named with the virus that shall not be named. A lot of people were angry, and then the election thing happened in January. So it's like a lot of people were angry, and then they latched on to these red meat podcasts, and then it became um oh, the virus shall not be named sucks and the election sucks, to now women suck, right? And while this was happening, I had just moved to Dallas, and I said, hey, like, I'm tired of, I was in the military for 6 years, deployed 3 times, and I'm tired. I'm tired. And then I get out the military, I moved to some BS town, 100,000 people out in Texas, hated my job, got a new job in downtown Dallas, and I said, I'm in a major city. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to stop caring about what other people think. I got to let go of the politics. I got to let go of me trying to save the West. That doesn't mean that I don't have my values and my morals, but I'm going to have fun because I deserve it. You know, I've been pretty much locked down for 7 years, So I went out there, and while everyone was mad, I would watch these podcasts, and I thought it was funny. For me, it was comedy. I'm like, it was comedic. It was just so funny to see a girl yap and then get kicked off or something like that. And I started realizing, wait, guys really like, this is their thing. This is their um this is their bread and butter. This is what they think about women and that stuff. I'm not happy, but like, I was getting laid a lot because I set up my profile, maximize logistics. I listened to like people like Forward Playboy. I had read The Rational Male 10 years ago, but I was reading his books throughout the years. I read Ryan's book. I just read, but I didn't like read and then do nothing. I read and be like, cool. Now back to womanizing, back to living a social life, back to getting out there, right? And I made mistakes. I made stupid mistakes. I slept with women I shouldn't have slept with. I um I did things that I'm just not super proud of. But at the end of the day, it's just mess. It gets messy, guys. Like, people look at movies, people look at other, these fake lives on these fake Instagrams, on these fake podcasts about these dudes that just have it all and everything. Like, those dudes, the girls are banging losers and the banging guys that they meet at like a salsa night or at a bar on a Tuesday. And the guys, once in a while, they get got by like an ugly chick or something like that. So it's like, we're all pretending to be so much better than we are online, and it's causing us so much stress, right? That's not to say I'm gonna sit in front of you guys and show you all the girls I've been with or something, because that's privacy, right? But at the same time, there is a human there is a humanizing factor when I wrote that thread in February where I was like, this is it. This is my experience. Like, take it or leave it. I'm not on anyone's team. I'm not on anyone's like bankroll. I'm not trying to impress anyone. This is what I experienced. 100 bullets. There you go. People were like, oh shit. And like I was talking to my brother and he said, like, this the reason it took off is because it's just so human and raw and real. And I think that's what people wanted out of this manosphere crap. They were tired of the flash, and they were tired of because you can watch this stuff all day, but it won't make you a better man. It won't make you better with the ladies. It won't make you better with the ladies. So you got the great and powerful Chad Elkins, CPA, in the chat. Thank you, Chad Elkins. One day we'll have to do a show together, my friend, and we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. I'll come up with some questions. But yeah, like Chad said, people are terminally ill these days, and it carried over from the pandemic. You see it in all these like people that built brands, online, and then you see them come on these podcasts, and they built these brands in the 2019, 2020, where all people did was play video games and be online. That's all people did. And now, when we're back to normal a couple years later, all of a sudden we see them arguing, we see them shaking their ass, we see them talking the most degenerate stuff on podcasts, and you're just like, well, how did we get here? How did we get to this point where, like 2013 Red Pill, we were talking about would you or would you not thread on Roosh Forum. We would post pictures of girls, and would say would or would not. That was the manosphere back today. We had fun. It was fun times. No girls, no moral grandstanding, no conservatives, nothing. It was just would you have sex with this girl? Would you not? Is your car beta? And then when people would post their cars, we'd make fun of each other's cars. No one took it to heart. No one was like, well, I'm going to make a red meat video because you said my car was beta. And then, reactionary videos, right? I would say a lot of this stuff comes from frustration with women, frustration with the dating scene. A lot of men, even if they get laid, it's at a huge cost. They cost a lot of resources. A lot of guys try to pay their way into a girl's heart and all that stuff. But for the most part, man, it's what you're seeing right now is not like people don't know what's going on. We act like we know what's going on in this country. No one knows. No one, not even I know. We got presented a huge technological boost along with a huge worldwide event, which was the virus that should not be named, right? At one time, and we as humans don't know what the hell to do. We've let loose something on the world, which led to something else, and then we can make our theories, right? Obviously, the people, the ideas guys, Rolo, Ryan, everyone on Rule Zero, those guys have the best handle on what's going on, right? But no one is prepared. No one knows what's next, right? And all we know is that okay, hypergamy is on the loose. It used to be women have always been like this, but now it's in the open. Like they are shoving it in our face at every opportunity. Every opportunity online, women are shoving it in our face, whether they're selling their body or pictures of their body online, or making TikToks about how men suck and all that stuff. And that's a small part of the population, but those voices get amplified. So people don't know what to do with that, right? The people that are online a lot and don't get out and do stuff, they don't know what to do with this situation. They're angry, they're confused, they're looking for answers, and now we have factions. It's crazy. And it's funny because there is no factions in the red pill. Like if every person that's ever written anything about the red pill mysteriously vanished, it would still exist because people will continue to talk about how to get laid or how to positive masculine identity. It will always exist, no matter how much you don't want it to be. I'm sorry. That's why I always ask, what's your plan to stop? What's your plan to stop people from doing what they want within the confines of the law? You don't. You can't change people's behavior by guilting and bitching at them online. It will never work. But yeah. Let's see. We got Danny Arnold. The whole pandemic lockdown felt like I'd been caught in the most galactically heinous way imaginable. Yeah, dude, man. It was tough because I in the military, I had a lot of, like, low points, like, emotionally, right? But my first anxiety attack was when I was in my living room and I started pacing my apartment for, like, 30 minutes nonstop, and I didn't know what was wrong with me. I was like, "Why am I pacing my apartment?" I had to catch myself, and I realized, "Oh, I'm having an anxiety attack." Like, I have been inside for so long and not seen faces for so long that my brain was thinking I was in trouble or something like that. So it was a crazy time, and you know what? I still made the best of it. I still tried to date. I still tried to do the good thing. I was in a small town, Texas, where they really didn't care that much, but it was tough. It was rough, you know? Yeah. The whole passport bros thing took off. Yeah. It's always been a thing, man. The passport bros. It's always been uh it's always been a huge movement. The thing is, not. Here's the problem with the passport bros, right? Everyone at some point knew somebody that would go to these Latin American countries, this Eastern Europe. In the red pill, it was 2013. Guys would do it all the time too. It was not like Rouge Fee was a passport bro, right? Um, and we would discuss these things in these forums like, hey, I went to the Philippines and these are the girls. And obviously old internet was wild wild west, even in the early 2010s. So people would post pictures, even naked pictures on a forum of this girl that they were, and it's always been a thing. The thing is now it's more like revenge. Like, hey, I'm getting a feminine girl, all this stuff, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, dude, like, that's for you. Those women are for you to enjoy. That's not for you to like use those poor women to prove to other women that you don't even want that you're doing better, right? That means you still got work to do because like if I'm ever gonna, let's say I visit Dante the Panda and we get over there lit and we're having a good time and we find some girls and we have a good time. I would never, I would never be like, oh, Philippines is where it's at. I can't stand American women. Not because it's bad or good. I don't care about morality, but because it just doesn't make me feel good, right? Um, it doesn't make me feel good to like. It makes me feel like I enjoyed this woman not for me, but for just to get revenge or something like that. So it's a strange feeling. Like, guys, if you're gonna go do this passport stuff, go and have fun. Have fun. Don't hurt anyone, right? Have fun. Those girls love American men, just like because we're exotic, right? Um, but like it's kind of lame that guys go there and then they make their whole brand or their whole social media is like, I got a girl, I got laid. I'm just like, dude, everyone's getting laid everywhere all over the world, at some point. So it's not a big deal. Enjoy it, enjoy the country. They love your money. The women love the men. Just spend money, boost your economy, and treat the women nice. And that's all you need, bro. And enjoy it. It's for you, it's for you. Um, yeah. Brendan Tracy, my brother is marrying a closet feminist. We argued about intersectional dynamics before, but it's his first girl. He ain't changing his mind. Do I just avoid arguments, let the child touch the hot stove? Yeah, I mean, you've warned them. Most guys gotta learn the hard way. They're not gonna learn by you explaining to them. Just be there for them when and if something bad happens. Don't be the "I told you so" guy. You don't need to be a red pill evangelist. You already said, "Hey, be careful. Just know I'm here if you need anything." But and just let them be, right? You can't save everyone, right? You can't save most people. Most people don't want to be saved. So Chattery says, "Congratulations on doing what humanity has been doing for eternity." Yeah, having sex with strange women. And I'll tell you guys, like, as a man, once you get over this, I'm a little. I mean, you guys know, but there's guys that are just like, no, I need an angel and a virgin. I don't want to soil myself. And I'm just like, dude, you have one life. You know, you have one life to enjoy. And if you're a single man, you know, and you have the means in the game and whatever you have to get women outside of your race, outside of your country, outside of your socioeconomic background, you're going to realize like it's not such a big deal. And also, it's so much fun. Sex is great, but sex with someone that you were never supposed to meet, unless it was through weird technology like dating apps or whatever, that is like another level. You know what I'm saying? That is another level. There's people on the internet that argue with me and all day about race and who should be having sex with who and how, race mixing is a downfall society. People end up with their own race most of the time, first off. And number two, it's just like, that's your life. You want to control people that you'll never control, and they're going to keep doing it anyway. They're going to keep having sex, right? And that's your life. Worried about what I do. And the thing is, I understand that for some races of women, I am not their first choice, right? I am not white women's first choice. I am not uh, East Asian women's first choice. Um, Filipino women are naturally attracted to me. I'm not Vietnamese women's first choice, but I have pursued, dated, and even tried full relationships with women like that. And I tell you, it was fun for me because I just there was this kind of conqueror I was a colonizer, like just they get mad because they want to do the colonizing, but I'm actually doing the colonizing, and you guys are doing the colonizing, and no one cares. Really, no one cares, right? At the end of the day, everyone's gonna get married to whoever they want, hopefully, and we're gonna all forget that we all bumped uglies, right? It's okay, you know. But yeah. All right, I try to keep up with your guys' chats. Getting a lot, but let's see. Yeah, like Fred Jacob says, human nature hasn't changed, won't change. Barring genetic engineering, all of human knowledge could be erased tomorrow, and people will say the exact same thing about sexual dynamics in 2500 AD. Yeah, it takes how long does it take for like a mutation or genetic difference to happen? Um, you know, um, 100,000 years, a million years. I think it's like 600,000 years for a mutation for something big to happen where it'll change like the way we operate as human beings, like evolutionary wise, right? Now there is like cyborgs, and we can become half cyborgs, and we can manipulate now technology to manipulate hormones and stuff like that. But that probably is not going to happen in our lifetime, guys. It's going to be a hot minute, maybe 200 years before we can turn a person into an automaton and not feel anything. Like the movie, was the movie with Christian Bale, where it doesn't, where they make people not feel any emotions. Yeah, like opium till yeah. Yeah, dude. Like if you like Asian, like I always say, you like what you like. Who cares? You get one life, go do it. Just keep in mind that like in terms of race stuff, like there are women that just won't like you, no matter how handsome or attractive, they just won't like you, right? They'll make like, hey, you're handsome, but I don't like you. Like I'm not going to sleep with you. I'm not going to pursue anything with you, and that's fine. It happens to me from time to time. But if you're willing to take up the challenge and maybe kind of manipulate your game a little bit and go for it, go fucking go for it, man. Like who am I to tell you not to do anything? You know. So yeah, base take on passport, bro. Like all these black guys that go to our home country, Dominican Republic, and they're just like, look, and then they're like taking pictures with these hot women with giant asses and all that stuff. Like they've never seen a girl before. I'm just like, dude, tell me how you have no game and have never been able to attract a woman in the United States that's actually attractive without telling me. You take a picture with a foreign woman and on social media and be like, yeah, I'm the man. I'm just like, dude, just enjoy her in private, dude. Just like just enjoy her in private, bro. Like you don't have to do this, my friend. You don't have to do this. So I don't have a problem whatsoever with the passport bros phenomenon, but I think moving silent yeah, like the most important thing is the power of STFU, shut the fuck up, is the most important power here. Because look how many people have talked too much and their lives are destroyed, or they got caught by a girl doing something they weren't supposed to, or they got caught by someone, or they got blown up or doxxed and all that stuff, right? You could literally just be quiet, enjoy the women will love you, regardless of what the feminists or the girls say or whatever shamers people say. they will love you. They want to have fun, you know. Girls want to have fun, like the song, guys. So, at the end of the day, you want to just do it for you, and that's called frame, right? When you're trying to prove to people across the world that you don't know that you have sex, that you're out of your frame, you know. And Ryan's gonna drop a book about this soon, and there's plenty of articles about it. But like frame, when you're trying to constantly explicate to people of your status of who you sleep with, right? Now I do it sometimes too, but I do it for comedic effect, right? There have been times where I haven't gotten laid for weeks, right? Um, but I was like, for me, it was just like, it's gonna happen eventually. I'm stressed. I got things going on. It always happens, and then here we are, But also like, um, hold on. Sorry, I'm sending a text. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, like, you don't want to like have to prove to everyone how great you are all the time. People don't know. I wrote that thread, zero receipts, right? And people knew because simply there's something that you can never imitate, and that's experience, right? Um, and it's interesting once you guys get experience and you see these shows or podcasts or people or tweets or whatever media start talking about dating in the abstract, you're just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like date nights are bad or good or whatever. It's like and that's the thing with the female dating coaches. They've never dated a man. They've never dated a girl. They've never approached a girl. They've never had to deal with the girl's emotions in the dating environment, or in the dating, or you know they've never had to deal with rejection on the level of men, yet they want to tell you how to get them. Like it's almost insulting. It's like one of the most narcissistic things. And like what I always say is like, hip hop owning, League of Legends playing overweight dude, and you go on one date with one girl, right? You have more to contribute to the dating, to intersexual dynamics and dating than the most experienced 20-year veteran woman, female dating coach, right? And that is the craziest comparison, because it's true. First off, and number two, it's like, how narcissistic do you have to be to like look at two Ferraris racing on a racetrack, or two F1 Formula drivers racing on a racetrack, who you've never uh you've never driven those cars, and then tell everyone how to win a race. You have no much weight. The guy, like, F1 drivers are really light. You have no idea about any of these things, yet you want to tell these guys how to win a race. That's insane. That is like, it's absurd. Actually, it's absurd. So, yeah, Nuclear Magellan. Yeah, my traveling days are over, man. I don't really plan to travel too much. Maybe to see friends. That's mostly. Um, but yeah, Brendan Tracy recently dated an underage Catholic girl. Their attachment style and behavior is 180 different from the Army Chicago girls I'm used to. Way sweeter, though. Thought she was acting at first. Yeah. Um, when you guys go overseas too, don't expect them to act like call it. Don't a little bit. You're gonna have to be more relaxed. Um, and all that stuff. You know, they aren't they aren't like. So, um, but anyways, guys, yeah. So talked about passport bros and all that stuff. But yeah, female dating coaches, ridiculous. Like, what's happening now too is that we have a lot of these trad women online and all that, and they're trying to constantly shame men, right? Because that's gonna work, shame men who've been destroyed by divorce, or who are afraid of divorce, or heart. Um, and that's their and you see okay, we need to step back and we need to look at this for what it is. People are trying to shame people into acting differently. That is the most absurd thing, right? People are who they are. They'll do what they do, right? Women have agency, right? You don't need to explain to a woman that going to Miami is against your boundaries. You don't need to do that, guys. Like every woman knows what Miami's for. They may play dumb, but every woman knows Miami. They're not going to the Rocky Mountains for a hike. They're not going to go visit. All their friends aren't going to go visit their grandma out in Mexico in some town in Mexico, right? Miami has a purpose. So, yeah, everyone is like trying to gaslight people, and one of my biggest things is how stupid they I feel like a lot of people who make this BS content, BS dating content, they really think young men are stupid. Like they think that their IQ only like it's when they turn 30 that their IQ jumps 20 points, and all of a sudden they're a rational person. I'm like, no, like young men are pretty competent. They don't care as much as and who could blame them, right? But I always bring up this example that the average age on the aircraft carrier, which is arguably one of the most powerful weapons we've ever made and have and use on a daily basis, um, is basically run by 24-year-olds. The average age is 24. Most of like 80%, 90% of the ship is male. And 24-year-olds, they're doing most of the work. They're the ones, operating those valves, operating the reactors. I was 26 years old, guys, operating a reactor, hungover, half asleep, nuclear reactor, 4 megawatt carrier, right? It's like, how, like, they think that young men are just some of these stupid, drooling guys that don't know how to do anything. Like, obviously, they're not motivated. Obviously, they don't feel like they're appreciated. They don't want to do stuff they don't want to participate in tough jobs anymore. They just want that YouTube money. It's what the data says. But they're not stupid. And there's a reason why they're checked out. It's not they're checked out because they're inherently stupid and lazy. It's because they don't just see it's not worth it. How do I know this? Because I used to mentor these guys in the military. Like, how many of these dating coaches and these like female platitude people who play video games all day during the pandemic all of a sudden decided to be, I know everything about dating and young men's problems and issues. How many of them have led men to do anything? Young men to do anything. I was leading young men to operate a fucking reactor. 60 people. I was giving commands and orders to young men, and I was telling them, do this, do that. How many of those people doing podcasts did that? I'm not trying to aggrandize, but I'm trying to show you guys where I'm coming from. Right. And it's not that I'm gonna go easy on people on young guys, right? Because they don't need that. They don't need you to go easy on them, right? What they need is to be inspired and need to know that it's possible. That's all. That's all, right? So you show guys like, hey, it's possible, but you have to have a Lambo. I'm like, okay, cool. If you do have a Lambo, you will get chicks. That's normal, right? But what happened to the regular guy that just goes out and figures it out? Like, that's what guys need. That example of a guy that just like, he's not dressed in a top hat and feather boa, and not, he's not, in Vegas or in a brothel or in a strip club. He's um he's not rich. He's not an athlete. He's not clouded. He's not like a whole bunch of followers on Twitch or whatever platform. He's an engineer. He's a you know he's a bartender or whatever profession you guys have. He's a student. Those guys like that need to be shown, hey, it's possible, but you just got to be not stupid and have a little bit of discipline. That's all you need. It's possible. And what we've shown, man, is that it's impossible. No matter how much we talk about this stuff, we can, like, what if I talked to you guys all day, all night about this stuff, and all of a sudden I get up and I show you guys, I have like two models come behind me, kiss me on the cheek, right? And then like my keys, my Lambo keys drop from the thing, from the hanger here. And what will that show you? All that I've ever said means nothing, because you know you in your mind are gonna be convinced, like, if I had the money he has, then I would have 2 hot girls next to me, right? But what we need now is regular guys with regular jobs. Um, not when I say regular, I don't mean like BS job. I'm talking about like a career, like normal people have, figuring things out, going out there and getting what they want, right? And what do you want? Do you want to have models on a yacht? Well, bro, it's gonna take decades. You're probably gonna have to constantly be working 24/7 and sacrifice your whole life just to get to the point where you can rent a yacht for some unappreciative women to go on there and party and shake their ass. And then are you comfortable with the fact that while you have all this money and this yacht and all this, that they would have sex with a guy for free, if you said the right thing. When I say for free, I mean like relatively speaking. Maybe he pay $30 in drinks or $40 in drinks, like is is that is are you cool with that? Right. Um so at the end of the day, like it we need to show the young guys and the guys that are in the space and the older guys, any guy, like, hey, it's possible. You just here's the way, and we can't keep doing this forever where we're discussing what is, that's what everyone's trying to do. What is this sucks, that sucks, women are this and men are that. I'm like, great, so what works, what gets you from point A to point B, what improves your life? Women are hypergamous. Okay, great. You know, Men can have sex with multiple women, but they won't fall out of love with the woman they love, right? Okay, great. Woman this, woman that, and we're just doing this for years, and we can't do this forever. Um we can't just constantly repeat the same 20 things and then have other people refute those 20 things that have been proved by science, by observation. Like, dude, we know these things already. So what is your plan to do? What do you plan to do with this information? Monetize and make a podcast and piss men off and women off and then make money? Use it to sell pocket pussies? Use it to sell OnlyFans girls? Get OnlyFans girls to act insane, and then the poor guys that have no discipline or no chance are gonna um, subscribe to these women? Are we gonna tell men not to touch their junk for a month, and at the end of that, maybe you can float and have magical powers? Is that what we're gonna do? Are we going to have factions where, like, hey, if you support my faction, the country will be saved? Are we gonna have like team conservative, team Democrat, team this, team that? Are we going to um, continue to sell are we gonna continue to sell outrage and all that stuff and red meat, and then leave men out to dry when it comes time for the solution, how we deal with this besides make money? you know are we going to say, get married but provide no help or education for men that want to get married? Like, what are you contributing, right? Always ask, when you're listening to someone, ask you, what have they done for you in your situation? What have they done anything that has helped you or will help you? No, then keep moving or use it as entertainment, right? Always ask yourself, the thing that I'm watching, unless I'm watching it for entertainment purposes, just for fun, what are they providing me? Is it useful? If it's not useful, then it's not red pill. Because the red pill, we don't care about what should, we don't care what could be, we don't even care sometimes what is. We care about what works. And like Ryan said, like, if me believing that the moon is made out of cheese works, then the damn moon is made out of cheese. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. Just is that way. You can't do this forever. That's what I would tell you. We can't do this forever. We can't make podcasts and get subscribers and all that stuff talking about, hey, obviously we need to discuss the unflattering realities of both men and women, because people are trying their best to to tell you that it's not real. Like, no, no, my friend, it is real. It's very real. But um, you know, you can't just stay there. You know, you have to move forward. You have to leave that and be like, okay. And then also get over yourself and look at yourself and be like, okay, what am I like? Am I a lazy person? Am I a hardworking person? What type of woman do I want? What type of life do I want? Write that shit down, you know, like and be selfish. Be as selfish as you can when you write down what you want. Right? Don't worry about your mom or your dad. Don't worry about your brother. Don't worry about your exes. Don't worry about your job. Write down what is my life and what is something that I'm not okay with and okay with. Because another thing that gurus do, or you know, BS content creators, is that they create boundaries that aren't even your boundaries, right? You, hey, she has a tattoo on her leg. She's a slut, and then you realize one day you're gonna meet a girl with a small little tattoo on her leg. She's like, man, this girl's pretty awesome, you know. And there's different extremes, right? There's women that you'll see them uploading pictures of them dancing and twerking in the club, and then you go on a date with them, and then you know, you give them good sex, you hold frame and all that, and in 2 weeks they're like cooking and making you tea and asking you like, do you want to that happened to me. Met a Vietnamese girl, she loved doing the splits and dancing in the club, right? And when we met, we hooked up the first night, and she left back to her state, and then she came back and she was moving, helping her father move, and then she didn't want to leave me alone. She was like wanted to spend all weekend with me. She's like, hey, come do this, come do that with me. I'm like, hey, I need some alone time and cooking and cleaning. And she would ask me like, hey, can I give you a massage? I'll bring you some Tiger Balm or whatever. And it's just like, imagine if I would have used some gurus like, or some tradcons or some whatever, um, boundaries, you know, like maybe in my mind, I was like, she's like that, but she's treating me good. And if you're treating me good, then you get to stay in my life, just like everyone else. Like, you get to stay in my life. And it kept going. And then realized, like, wait, this girl is like acting like my girlfriend. She's really trying. And um she's doing her thing. So it's like some women know that, hey, when I like a guy, I gotta like, you know, like I gotta perform. And that's another thing, guys. There may be things that I am like, I'm against it completely, but there may be things that you guys are like, it doesn't bother me, you know. Obviously, there's things that are like very dangerous. Like I would say, hey, if she's a single mom, proceed with caution. It works for guys that are single dads too, because you know, same situation and they understand each other. But if you're a single guy, be careful. We don't recommend it. Um, but let's say you don't want kids, or you can't have kids as a man. You know, your sperm doesn't work. Okay, well, guess what? Now it doesn't matter. You know, so the red pill isn't some one size fits all. Everyone is trying to, be like me. It worked for me. You know, it's what's best for the individual and to get what they want out of life. And if you constantly look at these gurus and these podcasts, or even people like me who try to tell you, hey, you need to be this exact way and this exact way, and you need to have these boundaries because, you know, this, and that, you're going to be alone forever, and you're going to miss out on some really good girls, man. There's some girls out there that just, they're acting out of pocket because simply they're just waiting for a guy to, to be that guy, right? And that guy could be you, right? Obviously, you know, there are things that are irredeemable, right? But there are women out there that are just like, as long as you play your cards right, and she plays her cards right, she's like gonna leave all. She's like, finally, I didn't know what I was doing, and I'm going to do the best to keep this guy around, right? Not all hope is lost. You just have to go out again and touch grass, like, you know. But so yeah, even Rolo now is more red meat. Yeah, it's taken over the space. And you know, everyone's worried about Rolo, but I think he knows what he's doing. But like, you know, we all worry about that stuff because I think Rolo's a good natured guy. And he means well. Obviously, his work really improved my life immensely, and I have nothing but appreciation. It's crazy that people call him a grifter when his books are like $15, you know. But people buy like Call of Duty 3, which just came out, and it's just basically Call of Duty skinned. You know what I'm saying? Like grifter because they have it. But you know, it is what it is. Um Danny Arnold. already stepped in that bear trap, getting entangled with a single mother back before I even heard of the ruby colored capsule. I lived and learned the hard way. Yeah, sometimes as guys we learn the hard way and it sucks. We don't want to learn the hard way, but we do. And at the end of the day, you want to like General Admiral Rickover, the father of the nuclear navy. He was the one responsible to implement nuclear reactors in the navy. He said it's not necessary. He said basically it's not necessary to make every mistake to learn. To make mistakes to learn. You can learn from the mistakes of others, right? Because in life, you don't have to learn the hard way. If sometimes you do, but most of the time you don't. And if you keep learning the hard way, you're gonna run out of time, you're gonna run out of resources, you're gonna run out of patience, and you're gonna be one of these guys that are like my age that spend all their 20s making mistakes, and then they didn't learn from those mistakes, and then they learn this stuff, and they're just still mad, right? I'm like, dude, time is running out. Like you're the years you spend angry at women and not understanding into social dynamics and not accepting women for what they are, not for where they can never be for you, is time you'll never get back. The time is now to get over it. That's not to say get over it tomorrow or next week, but eventually you have to look at this stuff and be like, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Women are going to continue to have sex whether you hate them or not. Um, Dudes that are figuring it out will continue to go out there. Everyone is struggling. Even hot people are struggling. Chads are struggling. Hot women are struggling. We're all struggling because we got handed this piece of technology called the internet. The internet morphed into dating apps and morphed into Instagram, right? And now here we are. Like we have women that are fat and overweight curving me at Salsa Night because he's not that hot or whatever. And we have on the other side, we have guys like me who are outsourcing, have figured out 4 things to say to women, and then you get matches and you're having sex with women all the time. It's like we don't know what to do with this technology. We still don't know. We're in shock still. We're like humanity is in shock, at least for young people. No one's getting married because we're like, whoa, hold on, what's going on here? Everyone's trying to point fingers at people, institutions, the cabal, the devil, music, culture, Disney movies, and like ultimately, it's you gave humans a technology that is godlike technology, and we don't know. It's too powerful. It's too powerful for us, right? You guys remember in Dragon Ball Z when Goku gave Gohan the Spirit Ball to launch at Vegeta in the Saiyan Saga, and Gohan was like, "Oh, I don't know what to do with this," and he was terrified. Oh no, it was Krillin. I think it was Krillin or Gohan. And Krillin, his power level was low, so he's looking at this ball. He's just like, I don't know what to. He was terrified of it, and that's basically what's happening to us. We got handed by Father Internet, of this power, and we think we know what we're doing. We think we have control of it, but we don't. We don't. We don't have control of this crap. It's like it's ruining our. It's not. I'm not saying it's ruining our lives, but it's just like it's stressing us out. And here we are. Here we are. So, all in essence, just forgive yourself because we're not ready for this dating app and Instagram and media and all this information. We're not designed for that. We're designed to know and interact with 100 to 150 people at once. We're designed to go hunt and kill and have sex. We're designed to get attached to people. But technology's thrown all that in a tornado, and now we're trying to like grasp this and ride it the right way, like a bull that's but we're struggling, and that's okay because it's not your fault. It's not your fault that that women that if they meet you in person they would like you, but if they see a picture of you they'd be like, ugh, that's not your fault. It's not your fault. You can't really be mad at that, right? It's not your fault that once you do have it figured out, people that haven't are hating on you and shaming you, right? It's not your fault that that you have a sex drive and you have a testosterone that pushes you to find women attractive that are younger. It's not your fault. Like you have no choice. People think it's a choice. It's like it's not a choice, you know. It's not a choice. I like younger women. That's how I was designed. That's how God or evolution or whoever made you. And you have to deal with that, right? That's not something that you can just think away. You will be attracted, you know. If you like if you like a certain type of woman, if you like Asian or Latinas or white or black, you can't control that. It's what you like. It is what you like. So what are we going to do here? Are we going to um are we going to just continue yelling at each other? What does that accomplish? We're just going to get mad, you know. The best we can do is just be easy on ourselves. Continue to try to figure this out. Stay away from people that are trying to use your emotions for their gain. Um, and just not take it so seriously, right? Women aren't meant to be taken seriously ever, you know. Within the confines of a relationship, when it's something serious, yes, but like in terms of like dating, women are not meant to be taken serious, right? They are for fun. The minute they turn from fun to serious is when the women decide to. But until they decide to be, hey, I want something serious, they're they're a flake. They'll come back. They'll leave for 6 months. They'll rematch you like nothing happened. Um, they'll have sex with you and then have sex with another guy the same day, or they'll have sex with you and want a relationship the next day. It's chaos, right? Just let them do their thing. They're the most powerful, most privileged people that ever lived on this planet. Let them deal with that chaos and that curse. Let them figure it out, right? You will sit in your apartment comfortable, relaxing with your dog, with your hobbies. You will go have your social life, you will approach and you say, "Hey, this is, you know, your marketing. This is who I am. You want to go on a date with me? Date goes well, take her back to your place, and then you're done. You're done. Your work is done for the time being. Let her act. If she goes to you, that means she just needed one night or whatever. If she wants to see you again, great. Then she has to, you know, you set the time and the place and you see each other again. If she's acting more like a girlfriend, then you entertain it that way. Right? They are the choosers now. So stop trying to control the universe because you think you know red pill. You know, that's what the problem with a lot of these podcasters too is like they want to control the universe. We don't control the universe, guys. They have certain powers that we don't, and we have powers that they. And my favorite power that men have is we're rational and we think with our heads. You know, so yeah, don't get don't get butthurt. You know, women will come and go. You know, and they'll hurt you. Women will hurt you. That's part of life, guys. My mother has hurt me. My father has hurt me. Family members have hurt me. Friends, the military has hurt me. Um, yeah, why let the internet hurt you? You're already dealing with enough things that hurt you through your life, and you're gonna let the internet hurt you now? My random strangers that you'll never meet thousands of miles away who want to control what you do with your junk, you know? And you're mad at that? That pisses you off? You're not gonna have fun with that with people who are that crazy to even entertain that? That's what Twitter's for, you know? And then whoever wants to learn and actually do something with their life, freaking do it. So, um, yeah, the most important thing is always forgive yourself. It's not your fault. It's you know, just keep doing you. Keep doing your career, relax. No one cares that you're getting late or not getting late. Only you do. And if you have trouble, look for answers. And if you're looking for answers, put them in practice. Get over yourself. I promise you most men's problem is the ego. They don't want to get rejected. They don't want to take up a sexy hobby like salsa or guitar or whatever. They don't want to look dumb. They don't want to get rejected. You know, they're trying to find the forever girl, but they don't have any experience. They don't even know how to deal with a girl when she's on her period, or deal with a girl when she's ovulating, or deal with a girl. You know, they have no experience with girls, and they want that forever girl. You know, so just do you, forgive yourself, and just move on. You know, let the clowns. You know, the theme song from the intro video you guys saw is from a show called the Amazing Digital Circus, right? And that is what Twitter, YouTube, it's all a circus, right? And within that circus, the hardest part is extrapolating or looking at who has the best information or who has good, honest information. And most of the time, it's not the loudest, most expensive podcast. Most of the time, it's just some guy in a gray sweater sitting in his apartment at 8 p.m. on a Tuesday, talking about his experiences, telling you that, hey, man, like it's okay to fail. Get out there, it's okay to fail, you know. So, all right, guys, I have been yapping and bullshitting and wasting your guys' time for an hour. I really appreciate you guys just coming in and listening to me. 100 videos. It went by super fast. It didn't feel like that much effort, but guys, I will put in more effort if you guys want me to. I will do better videos, but this is, this is something that that I decided to do out of the bottom of my heart. I really don't want to take anyone's money unless I earned it. I never was like that, and I don't want anyone to leave here thinking that they're not worth more or less than me. You know, we're all humans. I have just more experience and I have more notes to share than the average human. That's all. So I want to thank Fred Jacobs again for the $100 super chat. Appreciate your money, man. And just know that, guys, I will never ask you or require you guys' money, but I always appreciate the super chats. It allows me to do this more, focus more on this than trying to do overtime or other things, right? So I appreciate you guys again. So you guys know where to find me. nuclearcaudillo, pretty much on all things. My link tree is in the chat. I'll put it in again. 1 second. One second. Here we go. You guys follow me on Twitter. If you're not already following me, follow me on YouTube. Obviously, like and subscribe to the video. Membership is open. If you guys want to become a member and support, it's $5. And then if you guys want one-on-one coaching, email me at nuclearcaudillo@gmail.com. And we can set up a time. We can just talk like this, but like more personal. We'll talk through your problems, what you're feeling, your mindset, what things we could do to improve your dating life and your life with women overall. Realize, guys, that I am not the most experienced, most qualified person yet because I am new in this. But if you like how I speak and you feel like we could connect, then, hit me up there. And then in terms of Patreon, I post essays here and there. It's $5 a month. So if you guys want to support me there. Other than that, guys, I really appreciate you guys' support throughout these months, and to all the friends I've made, and to all the people that enjoy watching my shenanigans on Twitter. So appreciate you guys. So I put together a little appreciation video. So you guys have a good night, and I will go out and I'm gonna go grab a glass of wine or something. So good night, guys.
I come home in the morning like my mother says, well, you gonna live your life right. Oh, mama, dear, we're not the fortune.